The Soap King. In one of the eastern kingdoms ruled a dynasty of great rat kings. For many years, the kingdom was ruled by skilled kings, each of whom became famous in their own way. The fat king became known for feeding all the rats so much that they almost burst. He gave not only leftovers from the royal table, but also rice. But his reign was short. The kingdom could not feed everyone every day. In the end, he was eaten by his own people, who considered him greedy. The peaceful king became known for never cutting off rats' tails as punishment. He believed that punishment belonged to the past, and that everyone should live on without thinking about the old days. But he too ruled only briefly. Without punishment, the rats killed and ate each other, knowing nothing would happen to them. In the end, he too was eaten and called spineless. The loving king became famous for listening to almost every rat's complaints at a royal reception. Some received more grain, others were given protection, and some were placed in high positions at his side. But because he wanted to please everyone, he gathered the most evil and envious rats around him. Soon, he was eaten and called unserious. Such was the dynasty. Worthy kings who wanted the best for their rats all ended up being eaten. Something had to change. Perhaps not small adjustments, but radical changes in the rats' lives. After the loving king came a young king without a nickname. He was simply called the king. His only goal was to avoid ending up like his predecessors. He was wise despite his age and wanted to learn from the mistakes of the past. He believed that only the rats themselves knew what they needed. But instead of asking everyone, he wanted to find one worthy rat who could speak for them all. Therefore, he went, disguised as a poor rat and without guards, into the poorest streets of the kingdom. He saw exactly what he had expected: destruction, hunger, theft, and even cannibalism. His father and grandfather had told him about it and encouraged him to fight it when he became king. He found no worthy representative and was about to return home when he smelled something burning. There was no fire and no smoke, but the scent led him to a hole with a strong and strange yet pleasant smell. A poor rat with sweet ears, a curious nose, and a lively tail opened the door. She explained that she was frying sugar a little too long to make caramel. The king was invited inside. Inside the hole were old furniture, a worn carpet, and a fireplace. There was dirt everywhere, but also a coziness that reminded the king of a home he missed. The rat let him taste the caramel and showed him how it was poured into molds for lollipops. She asked why he had come, and the king explained that he wanted to make life better for all rats and asked for her advice. After thinking for a long time, she answered, "Soap, my king. Rats need soap. Our holes are dirty, and we ourselves are filthy." The king took the advice to heart and ordered that each family should have 2 pieces of soap, 3 if the family had more than 5 members. That same night, the the soap was distributed to everyone except the king himself. The next day came the news. The rats had eaten the soap. They shouted his name and thanked him for a delicious breakfast. The king wrote to the poor rat for new advice, but the reply said that the kingdom needed a decisive king, not one who followed the advice of a poor rat. The king decided to act differently. He summoned the entire kingdom and said, "The new soap contains poison. It is harmless if used correctly, but if you eat it, you will die instantly." Some rats did not believe him and still ate the soap and died. The king realized that change is only possible if the world around also changes, and that you cannot achieve perfection without cruelty. He again summoned the kingdom and said, "Those who are willing to change, stand by my side. The others are no longer with us." That night became known as the Soap Night, and from then on, the kingdom had a new ruler, the Soap King.